I want to start off, obviously, our thoughts and prayers and our condolences go out to Leon Brockmeyer's family. Unfortunately, Leon passed away over the weekend and survived by his tremendous wife Melanie and two sons. Was a great offensive lineman here for us from 1997 to 2001, a native from Tallahassee. Graduated in '01 with a degree in communications and minored in sociology. He started 35 games in his career, including 24 straight as a three-year starter at left tackle. He was a member of the 2000 Big Ten championship team and was a second team All Big Ten. Going back, I mean, it was an unbelievable year in 2000 when he paved the way for Damian Anderson, who rushed for 2,063 yards. And Cats led the Big Ten 2000 and 2001, and were ranked second in 2001. In total offense in those 2 years, and the remainder of the year we'll wear a sticker on our helmet to honor Leon and his legacy, and again to want to lift him, his family, terrible tragedy, and lift him up in our thoughts and prayers, and very sad, very sad. Also Saturday we'll here against Indiana, we'll also support Coach Shakir MD, which is National Game Day Charity Project sponsored by the American Football Coaches Association. It's a partnership between the AFCA and professional organization of over 10,000 college football coaches and staff, and the parent project of muscular dystrophy. 550 coaches and staffs at all levels in amateur football, including every major college football, will be supporting Coach Shakir MD on the sidelines. Duchenne muscular dystrophy is the most prolific genetic killer of young men, and Duchenne is a progressive muscular disorder that robs boys of their ability to walk and their ability to breathe unassisted, and then eventually, typically in their 20s, takes their lives. So you'll see us all wear patches this week. Currently there's no cure for Duchenne, and it's a 100% fatal. So for more information, please go to coachtocuremd.org. It's coachtocuremd.org to support that great cause. And you'll again see all of our coaches wearing that patch. Looking back at the game on Saturday, our specialist player of the week, special teams player of the week was Brandon Williams. Had a great day punting. Offensively, Patrick Ward was our offensive player of the game. He had 1- the whole game. He was pretty close to that perfect game that you could throw for an offensive lineman. Defensively, Quentin Williams has now put together 4 straight very solid games and was our defensive player of the week. Vendrick Mark, our offensive big playmaker, and Damian Anderson, our defensive big playmaker. Our practice players of the week on offense were Adam DiPietro, Stephen Buckley in the kicking game, and Mike Eashan on defense. Excited to have our honorary captain this week come on up and be a part of it. Illinois State Senator for the 15th District, Napoleon Harris. Obviously, Napoleon was a great player for us from 1997 to 2001. Second team All Big Ten, also played basketball here for us, was selected 23rd overall in the 2002 NFL Draft by the Oakland Raiders. Had a great career, playing 7 years with Oakland, Minnesota, and Kansas City. So it's going to be great to have Napoleon here with us throughout the entire weekend as we move into Big Ten play. Got a team coming in here now in Indiana that obviously had a week off, a week to watch us and a week to prepare for us. That had a tough defeat a week ago, but was very impressive in their performance from a standpoint of battling back. And they ranked 14th overall in total offense and 33rd in scoring. I think they're averaging about 538 yards per game, with 212 of that on the ground. So you got a ton of respect for Kevin Wilson, the job that Wilson's done offensively, and he's one of the top offensive minds in the country. And to see the job they're doing defensively, you look at the improvement that they've made. They're very active up front. Their linebackers fly around, very sound in what they're doing in the back half, and playing really solid team defense. So, this is a much improved team than what we saw a year ago when we went down there. That kind of really turned our season around a year ago. We did not play very well defensively a year ago down there and put ourselves into a shootout for 3 quarters. Kind of the catalyst of that was a really bad fumble that we had in the punt return that really gave momentum and a quick score after we got a stop. So, obviously a lot to learn from this game a year ago. We've got weapons across the board offensively, and I've added some junior college players to their defensive ranks fast in the kicking game, and now everybody's back to 0-0. It's Big Ten football time, and our guys are excited for the challenge. So with that, how about some questions?
if it's, I think it's 4 times that a Big Ten team has an extra week to prepare for you. Does that bug you, and how much of an advantage do you think it is for the opponent?
Well, hopefully at the end of the run, we say it wasn't an advantage. That's kind of the goal, but yeah, that's something that's out of our control. You know, I saw it at the beginning part of the season, kind of when I went through the schedule, and well, that's interesting. But you know, at times it's been a benefit to us, and at other times we haven't come out of the bye and played very well ourselves. So, you know, I can't speak for IU or any of the teams that we have moving forward, but you know, the biggest advantage, you get a chance to rest your guys up and get out and get on the road recruiting. You know, so.
On the depth chart, I mean, you've had Dieter start the last couple of weeks, and he's still not on there. I mean, is there a reason for that, or is it just?
No, I mean, again, big competition throughout the course of the week.
Can you talk about being through 4 games, not throwing an interception yet? I mean, both quarterbacks with some questions. You talk a lot about turnover ratio.
Yeah.
How important is that?
Yeah, no, it's critically important, especially as you move into Big Ten play. I mean, you move into conference play, typically the teams that win the turnover ratio win games. Number one correlation to winning football games is winning that. It's a team effort, obviously, on all 3 phases, and we've got to be better there. You know, we had the ball on the ground 3 times and got lucky, you know, and didn't have any of them end up being turnovers on Saturday. You know, and then the throw, obviously, that we've got to do a better job protecting, and then we got to get rid of the ball that could have been intercepted. So, I mean, we got a lot of room for improvement in that area, but I think the quarterbacks have made good decisions. They've taken what the defense has given them, and, you know, as we move forward, hopefully we'll be able to keep that in place.
What's it say about those 2 guys? I mean, not a ton of experience there. You'd expect, you know, some mistakes here and there. What's it say about them individually that they've avoided, you know, making bad decisions?
Yeah, I'm knock on wood. I don't want to jinx them, right? You know, but they've handled the expectation we have for that position well. You know, they've not forced things. They've not tried to do too much. Outside of maybe really, truly 3 throws all year, I think we go, all right, that was a good decision. You know, there were a couple of throws that we kind of check it down, run it. You know, the picture's too cloudy. You know, make it go somewhere else with the ball. But outside of that, they've made really good decisions. And I think it also talks about the job that Mick McCall does. You know, and the way that he tutors, you know, our quarterbacks. We've had a pretty solid run here now since Mick has been our quarterback coach of quarterback development and guys playing within the system and really managing the game well.
Your running game's been so effective. Where's your passing game at now, you feel like? How do you feel like that unit is performing? Where does it need to go?
Yeah, I think we're performing pretty well. You know, we've started to get some explosion plays on Saturday. You know, a 2-yard throw for a 42-yard gain to Tony. Good blocking by Rashad up the field. You know, that will come. We wanted to establish the run. We felt like we needed to control the line of scrimmage, especially last week. You know, I think we only, we throw the ball 15 times? Not very much. You know, I'm a little disappointed we had to throw it that much. We really felt we'd be able to run the ball, and for the most part we did. But you know, at the end of the day, we're going to need to have both to be able to be successful in conference play. And as we move forward, the weather gets a little dicey, as always in Big Ten country. And, you know, I think both the running the ball and the passing game will be challenged.
You've been able to run the ball a little bit better this year. Is that because the offensive line's been, you know, able to control the line of scrimmage? Are they a big part of that? Or?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I think that they've done a nice job. We can still finish blocks better. We can still target better and be a little bit more efficient there. You know, the big run like by Trey on Saturday was a great block to spring him by Christian Jones, coming in and sealing the linebacker there to the field. So, you know, I think it's been more just not only the offensive line, but also the backs having great vision, hitting the hole, and then, you know, our guys on the perimeter doing a great job as they continue to improve, I thought, from week 1, but blocking better on the perimeter.
You know, you look at Saturday's game, Trevor took a couple of big shots, Kane took a couple of big shots, both of them had to leave the game. Are you concerned at all about their ability to kind of make those decisions to keep themselves safe in the ballgame?
You know, I think the one with Kane, there's probably 2 with Kane that he probably should have slid. You know, he thinks he can score on every play. It's a good problem, right? I mean, he's a dynamic athlete, but he's got to be a little bit smarter there. The one with Trev, and you know, it should have been picked up, and we botched the protection. But you know, outside of that, he's been relatively pretty healthy the whole year. So, do I have concern? Yeah, I got concern for all of our guys' health, safety, and well-being. But in specific to our quarterbacks, if we protect it well, we get it out of our hands on time, and we direct the protection the right way, and get down in times when it's time to get down, I think we'll be fine as the year goes along.
Vince, how is Indiana's offense different? Roberson out, and Chase Kaufman?
Yeah, Cam Kaufman in there.
Cam
Yeah. His brother was pretty talented. Yeah, we saw him a few years ago in the bowl game. I think both those quarterbacks that played against Ball State showed that obviously why Kevin and his offensive staff are, some of the best, if not the best in our league from a standpoint of doing the same thing we try to do, is taking what the defense gives you and also playing to your player strengths. And really impressed watching those two guys play. They did a great job getting the ball out of their hands and make great choices. The way, you knew they'd change a little bit when Trey went out just because of his athleticism and his skill set and a true dual threat quarterback. But, Cam and Nate are athletic guys too. I mean, it's not like these guys aren't athletic. It's the other way around. I think they're very athletic and very talented. So it's going to be a great challenge for us.
Coach, you mentioned Christian's blocking today, and then you also mentioned Lashad's blocking last week. If you talk about just the way your wide receivers have been blocking all season,
Yeah, they have improved. I wasn't very pleased with them early in the year, and I think they've really embraced that. They've taken to the challenge and worked hard to get better. Now let's go do it against Big Ten football players. It's one thing to do it in the non-conference. That's what I told the team this morning. It's another thing to do it in conference. And guys, when they were at a certain point in their lives, they made a decision that they had aspirations to be a Big Ten football player. And that's why we're all in this conference is to compete against the best of the best. And hopefully we'll continue to improve as the season goes along. But the second season starts, all the stats you guys dissect go back to 0-0, right? And Big Ten stats now start up, and we'll see if we can continue on where we've been to this point in the year.
Coach, can you kind of talk about the difficulty in trying to prepare your defense for two quarterbacks, not knowing which one's really going to be in there at any given time?
Yeah, I think you got to look at what they're doing conceptually, and if you do that and you kind of break it down that way, you might be able to get a beat if they're doing different things with the quarterbacks. If they're not doing anything different with the quarterbacks, then you got to look at the strengths and what they try to do to play to that quarterback strength. So we'll take the whole week to get prepared for those guys. We only really have one game of empirical data, and then they had a week off to get prepared for us. So we're going to have to do a lot of adjusting on Saturday defensively. We anticipate that. And, we'll see how it goes.
What are your feelings on where you stand? I know where you think this team stands after the 4-0 start. I know you say you always got to get better every day,
Right.
whatnot. But do you think this team is, how good do you think, happy should they be about how they're playing so far?
Well, I think they should be pleased with the fact that we found a way to win 4 games, and I think through that we should be a very confident football team. They've embraced improving in practice. You guys have come out every day to practice. You see that there's great attitude and enthusiasm out there to improve. There's a lot of competition, and the guys understand that every rep counts and every rep matters. And if we can continue to do that and then get better on Saturdays in the moment, I think we got a chance to have a good football team. But you learn a lot more about yourself in conference play. I do like the fact that currently we do play our non-conference games kind of all in a row, and you're able to put that, aside at least this year. I know down the road we'll have it a little bit different with our schedule. But you get a chance to learn a lot about your team. And now you're going to really figure out what's kind of in your belly when you start playing Big Ten football. You look at these most recent games against IU, they've been 1- and 2-point games since 2007. So I think two teams that really respect each other, they end up being great football games. And even a year ago, we were able to get some big drives there and big scores in the third quarter to kind of put it, a little bit of distance in the game. But it was a shootout there for 3 quarters. And so I don't expect anything different here this Saturday. But the one thing that I am most pleased about is our student support. It was awesome. I think we had all 2,000 of the freshmen do the freshman run last Saturday. And to watch the support that we had was spectacular, and we're very thankful and very appreciative of that. And they got to get up a little bit early, so instead of something, whatever, sandwiches and something else, now it's going to be eggs and something else, I guess, here on Saturday morning. So get to bed early on Friday and get your pipes ready to roll Saturday morning.
I was going to ask about a couple secondary guys. What did you think of Quinn Evans, how he played, and Travion Henry?
It was great. I thought outside of really one play, I thought Quinn played well. They ran the dash pass and they ran curl wheel route that they had run earlier on Nick's side. And we played it well on Nick's side, and then, Quinn got a little nosy on the curl, and he's got to be better than that. That's what gave up that explosion play. What I like about Quinn is he's really coachable. If he makes a momentary mistake, he doesn't put it on his shoulders like baggage. He learns from it, he moves on. He's been playing well in the kicking game, and, he earned that job a week ago through the way that he's performed to this point in the week of practice. So, that competition will be ongoing. I'm really pleased with the way that C.J. Bryant is starting to come on a little bit in practice, played well in the kicking game. On Saturday was active in all the phases, and I think, Demetrius has also been playing pretty well too. So, you add that along with the way that Nick is playing, and hopefully we get Doogie back, get Daniel back. We can get some competition out there. I thought Trey, for his first time being out there, did pretty well. I mean, I know he played against BC, but was a little bit more involved in the game planning a week ago, and as that moves forward, we'll continue to see that. And I thought he looked like a freshman in his first game. I thought he did some good things.
Coach, looking back to last year, you mentioned kind of that there's such a great competition now in practice. Is there anything that you've changed yourself coaching-wise from last year to breed that kind of environment in practice to keep guys so motivated?
Yeah, I don't think there's been a whole lot of change here. I think the foundation and in the foundation of what we value here, the kind of glue is competition. We compete in everything we do. When we get to the off season, we have the Wildcat games, which is our off-season competition that continues that kind of theme rolling through the whole off season until we get to Camp Kenosha. But I would say that we're maybe a little bit younger. We had a little bit more established veteran group a year ago, and unfortunately, through some tough experiences that we had a year ago, we had to influx some more competition when we went through that tough stretch. And through that, we had some personnel changes. And again, if I were to have a critical eye at myself a year ago, maybe it was a game late or a practice late or things of that nature that maybe we should have made some more changes and influxed some more competition, but that is what it is. I think with a younger group right now, even though we have some older guys, they're still a little young in experience playing. I think we're only really starting 6 seniors, I think, if I look at it. I mean, that's not, don't quote me on that, but I think it's pretty close to that. So we're a young group, and those guys are just embracing getting better, and the coaches are hopefully doing a better job week by week because we know more about the personality of the player. So hopefully we'll continue to do that.
What's the difference between, I guess, maybe this Big Ten opener and last year? I mean, obviously last year you were coming off that really heartbreaking loss to Army, and I know a lot of guys, particularly Kane, felt, to blame for that, really upset about it. Maybe what's the difference with the team this time coming out really high note, coming in 4-0, sort of different attitude to that offense?
Yeah, I mean, without question, that game last year for a lot of reasons was a tough game. The loss was kind of one of the smaller parts of it. And, but I think we learned a lot about ourselves, and I thought we responded pretty well. We just didn't finish the job in the fourth quarter in the Big Ten opener a year ago. So, I think this team has grown from the experiences that they've been through. Again, even though we are playing a lot of younger guys, that redshirt freshman and sophomore class that was around here last year were part of those experiences and learned from it, even though some of them might not have been in the arena. But I also think the hardest thing you're ever going to do is win a Big Ten football game. I think you kind of throw the records out in every game. There's always going to be great environments. There's always going to be hostile environments, and hopefully we can get started off in the right way. I think we've built some pretty positive momentum in Ryan Field. We've got great fan support and the best crowds that we've had since I've been a head coach in a non-conference schedule. And, now we kind of, we finish up the homestand. You kind of feel like the White Sox, you 4-game homestand here. It's kind of rare in college football. But since 1934 that we've had 4 games in a row at home. So, we need to finish the homestand. And that's some things that we'll be talking about as we move forward this week.
So is Pat Ward taking a step up? I mean, is he, I don't know if you want to diss the other guys, but is he playing the best of the Mulrow, the Topley crew?
All 3 guys were recommended for player of the game, so I think all 3 tell you you're playing at a pretty high level. I think when you get one play downgraded, that's pretty good. Now let's go do it in Big Ten against Big Ten competition. It's not to take anything away from the Coyotes, but let's go see how we do it moving forward from here on in. So Patrick's playing very well. I mean, he's been a staple in our offensive line now for 3.5 years. He's been an outstanding football player for us. It'd be pretty cool if his play on the field matched his grades in the classroom. He's gotten 1 A- since he's been here. Mechanical engineering. I know that's what you and I both studied while we were here, Teddy. It's the only thing I got was 1 A minus, you know, give me a break. You know, he's, in my opinion, again, I don't have all the GPAs of all the college football players in the country, but I'm not so sure there's anybody smarter than Patrick Ward in college football today. There's probably some bright guys, but I don't know. I know we don't have anybody else with only 1 A minus in mechanical engineering at Northwestern, so I'll put Patrick's grades up against anybody, and the way he's playing right now is pretty special too.
Do you think that's just 1 A minus in any class or just in his major?
Oh, just one in any class.
Any class?
That's pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just like all of us, right? I mean, I'm looking out here at the best and brightest, and me included. Let me tell you.
And
I got to think 1 A minus when I was here, my whole 4 years.
Well,
So,
what'd you get your A minus in?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm so far removed from school, I can't remember. Probably a book report in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't get a lot of A minuses here.
Did Ward, was it a running play or a passing play where he got the minus?
I didn't beat Cush. I beat Cush up about it today. You know, I made fun of Adam, you know, because I told him that Pat Ward came to me and said it was the worst coaching performance he's ever seen. I mean, he had a nitpick to get a 1 minus, but we just had some fun with it. But it was actually on a quarterback sneak, so that was kind of the funny part of the whole thing. You know, come on, Cush,
Yeah.
give me a break. Give me a break. No, but those guys are playing pretty well. You know, and Saturday was never in doubt. We controlled line of scrimmage on both sides. That's going to be key as we move forward. You know, obviously the challenges get a lot more difficult. They get a lot more difficult, but you know, I thought the guys, especially up front, controlled it well. We kind of accomplished our goal. We wanted to go to the fourth quarter, kind of rest the varsity and get a lot of guys, quality reps. And it was great to see guys like Timmy Hammerhand get carries. It was great to see Jordan Perkins get out there, and you know, got Zach Oliver some reps, and Dougie Dietrich getting a big catch. You know, what a great attitude Doug is. Guy from young man from Montini, walk on, third down pickup, sideline erupted. It was great. You know, those are the fun things. You know, when you kind of can get in those kind of situations. And to confirm, somebody asked me, Jerry did have a hot dog, so somebody asked me. So
Did he do that?
he did. Was that you, Skip? Yeah. I think that's number 6 in his 20 years here. We're digressing. Are we good? Thanks, everyone, for being here. See you tomorrow. Go Cats.